Uh, is it any better? Yes, media. Cool. Yeah, it looked like there's something happened like around here, but other than that, it seemed fine. I probably did just build up a bit of a buffer, which is probably a good thing, all things considered. Ugh. Yeah, card. Oop. Do Oop. My chat bot left the room. Eventually, at some point, once I get around to fixing it, talking about tacos, I want to let that account loose as a like you know when you go on a website and you get the fucking annoying like chat bots that are up all the time, like that. That's what I want to turn him into. And eventually, like, I will get rid of like all the stream elements, like integrations and stuff at some point, and bother building it out myself, but no time soon. What am I looking for? Card. We share near both trees which may buffer fix if latent gets above a certain bandwidth. There is a lot of good info out there on I want to say RMTP. Fucking because my OBS is shit. I took a look into more or less broadcasting to an Nginx server running FFmpeg that would then like format it and then send that out to different platforms. But there is a bunch of a bunch of good info out there on RMTP for managing that kind of stuff. I'm not too sure how it got so out of sync, TBH, but it happens. That's what I'm looking for. Which page even is this? Marketing. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so campaigns, analytics. Yep. I'll see if I can find the one that I was looking at. RMT. I don't even remember which Nginx. I think it's this one, I think. Which is really old, but yeah, this one. This is like the end all be all. There are a lot of like simpler implementations of it. And I gave a shot at one of the ones that you like stream. So fucking, I run a RMTP server. I mean, Nginx hasn't changed, to be honest. It's pretty much exactly the same. I ran like Nginx server with that more or less, and I streamed from my laptop to this computer as a media source. I'll jump back over, and then it streamed it into this. So that area where the screen should be was cast from another laptop for a sponsored stream for a game that I probably wouldn't recommend. Yeah. What was I doing? Cards. I don't know if that should be a sidebar insert. Hang on. No, it should not. Should I have a header? No, probably not either. Campaign form. Wait, what the fuck is there a campaign form there? Good enough. I don't think this is necessary, but yes. So there's a lot of good libraries. Depends what kind of language, what framework, etc. I think the one called Zod for TypeScript, which is really good. Node.js, yeah. There we go. This is a very over the top one. Well, I mean, not over the top. It does exactly what it says on the tin. Um, I mean, otherwise, just sanitize them. So Zod is really good for like enforcing extremely strict typing on inputs, especially from forms and stuff like that. But otherwise, just generally uh, escape any text, like make a helper function or like a util function that just strips out anything unexpected from it. And if it doesn't, but Zod will throw an error if it isn't exactly what it should be. I don't know if that should do it on that. No, nope. What do we? Yeah, cool. That's gonna throw errors, no doubt, but huh. Cool. Um, I need to format this entire thing. Because it's a mess. Oh. Right, so actually, let's chuck that into cards. Yeah. Zod's good for that. Even if you like, hang on, I've got a form somewhere around here. Yeah. So like, I've got a form here that should take in text. Now, once I work out where the hell the form is, in form. It actually isn't too amazing or anything. There's not really a lot of error handling. A lot of this is placeholder. I'm not too worried about it for now, but the thinking what's it? It's like if we try putting in like, let's say, daily budget of what would break it. Oop. Let's just see what this will respond with when it posts. Yeah, even okay, that was an unauthorized. I did have a cookie though, so that should have been fine. Let me try it with a valid amount. Nope, still unauthorized. Never mind. But yeah, on the handle it server side and just throw an error. It's pretty much exactly like that. Where is this posting to API campaign? API campaigns. Let's open that over there. So like these aren't nearly as strict typed as they should be, and there should be like checks for errors all throughout here. There isn't. But like ideally you'd set up a type for a campaign and then just go through and boom, boom, boom. And then convert it out. And if it doesn't match up exactly with that, it'll throw an error. So you just wrap that in try catch and you're good. That's the good thing about TypeScript. But equally, the bad thing about TypeScript of sometimes you do need to like smudge the types a little bit. And in those cases, you just go as unknown as whatever, and then it will cast it to this no matter what these values actually are, which is where it can get a bit dangerous. But as long as you strict type or just throw errors, throw errors and have it wrapped in something that will catch it, and you're good. Oop. I can hear the cat screaming at me. But yeah, no, Zod is a really good one for like actual. Hang on, where the fuck to go? Yep. Is really good for. At least I think it's Zod. I'm 99% sure it's Zod. Yeah, so you create the object schemas, and then if it doesn't match up perfectly with it, it'll throw. It's also really good for like the min and max length, which is my probably the favorite way of using it, apart from like checks for like addresses and stuff like that. Like that sort of thing of, hey, your password must be minimum 5 characters, maximum 20 characters, can't contain any of these, must be formatted like this for a date, etc., etc. Let's kill that. I feel like use client. Actually, I need to get the client side. Nope, that was not what I wanted. I think it was utils. Also, if you're doing anything in React, I like just started to realize I should probably bother. Split things out into hooks, and you can encapsulate like the all of the error handling, all of the failing, all of the validation, just in one like clean location. So this is what populates, if I didn't kill it, populates like this. So if it has any errors or anything, it'll just kill that value and it'll keep iterating over it. And you can return stuff like setting a state for like loading, error, and the actual thing that you want to get back. And then you just return all of them. And then in the component, you can just check, hey, if there's an error, stop what you're doing. If it's loading, throw up a loading banner. And then wait for it to change from loading to something else. And then validate the campaigns one more time if you need to. You can validate them in here, and you probably should validate them in here. But yeah. And like I mentioned earlier, just like strict typing on that, and you're good to go. But equally, if something did happen, like status, daily budget is a number, right? If this isn't set to actually enforce it in the database, and I was to change that to a word, damn it, I can't. Maybe nothing. Maybe null will fuck it up. Let's see what happens. It didn't die, but it did throw an error nonetheless. What was I doing? Campaigns. So I'm thinking I'll probably do something like the generic like social media management one with the current campaigns, the like ROAS and that kind of shit. I saw a directory schema that did React stuff with app components, hook services, and the types, constants, font styles, and themes. So hooks are basically check the right fish catch. Hooks are pretty much just API calls. they're just all right. So I'm probably not the best at explaining this, but this page is a server-side one, right? So the page itself is all rendered on the server. It won't change. The layout bit for it specifically is always going to be server-side, so you can access all of the server-side cookies and that kind of stuff. And if you want to make any API calls, because that won't be something that can be done server side and is more dependent on the client, you just wrap it up in a hook, and that's your API call that you slap onto a server side component, and you're good to go. Like, there is some fancy reason. If I can close most of these, is this one? Yes. So if you look at like components, unsupported, no. Once the element tree loads, which it might not because it might need an update. God damn it. Maybe I'll just update. I don't know if I want to risk updating React because the second that you start doing that, it gets messy. This is not React Native. There isn't, but there is a plugin for it. Let me find one that. Fuck me. I don't know if I have. Hang on. Actually. Hopefully I have built one. What the fuck's a port here? So that's already built. But I'll spin off the back end as well, fuck it. So you can actually see what is going on. What is this one aimed at? Look at us 3,000. All right, so that's that one. All right. No, that is the nice. Hopefully this is built. It isn't, damn it. So yeah, 100%. I unironically have like an extra external hard drive because of so many projects I've got around the place. At my one of my old jobs, I wrote like a seating chart system for like bookings and like that kind of stuff. And it ended up being 300,000 lines of code, and it took me like 2 weeks. A lot of it was like boilerplatey and that kind of stuff, fortunately. Docker Compose up. For fuck's sake, I need to install it through npm. I keep forgetting. Anyway, while that loads, I'll keep doing whatever the hell it was I was doing. And then I'll show you that one. Also, there is a plugin for React Context and another one called Apollo, which probably won't be relevant for any. Actually, might be relevant for 1 or 2 of my sites, but anything that uses a GraphQL endpoint like API, such as this job board, you can, once bloody thing loads, no, wrong one. You can see all of the direct queries that are made to it, along with like the responses, the cache data. So let's say, where's one of interest? Probably not too much there, really. Yeah, like boilerplates. I'll eventually need data center for event handling stubs, 100 global, 100 user, and 100 gigs food Atlas/commands. For that kind of stuff, I recommend making a like an overarching class that you can easily sort of extend out. Is this? Oh no, I am literally out of space on my device. All right, give me like 30 seconds while I go. It happens. Give me like 30 seconds while I go through and just delete some stuff. Like I need to jump through and probably delete like my Dropbox or something because it's taking up a lot of space. Um, OS. Actually, I'll just delete my Facebook folders because I think they're pretty big by themselves. And I have them backed up already. So let's DFH. Oh yeah, there were 7 gigs each. So that's freed up that space. And let's jump back over that one. So boom, boom, boom. And install that. I think that did install actually. Uh, yeah, no, it's been an ongoing issue for the day. I need to like delete all of these snap packages that I have just sort of lying around. Yeah, let's run. Yeah, so just gonna wait for this one to finish building, and then I can show you the front end and all the other stuff. Actually, yes. This. So what are we good one? Actually, the WebSocket could be fun, but actual. Maybe I guess that. If this has a domain type in it, it should be good. Actually, hang on, where the fuck's the domains? I started it. Or not. swear I called it domain something. Maybe not. Actually, it's probably built right now. Hold on, let me check. Yeah, cool. Yarn run. Start. npm run start. Um, 7001 is already in use. That could be an issue. The hell's running on port? Yeah, 7001. Docker something. Ah, all right. As long as this is pointed at the right back end, which it is not. Where is that going wrong? Abort fetch. Let's stop that and then run that again. Connection refused. All right, yeah, that should be okay. Do. Or not. Actually, I think that needs to run on 3000 if I recall correctly, which I probably don't. Yep, definitely don't. Yeah, all right, never mind. So I mean, one of the examples of actually checking the types. But whatever, fuck that. I really do need to finish it. What is the error it is throwing? Actually, let's just run that on 3000 and I'll stop this one for a little moment or two. Let's see if that'll make it behave. Doesn't seem like it. Does not seem like it at all. Jesus Christ. So because this app requires so many permissions to like edit calendars and contacts, it needs to request a permission, like permission on sign in every single time. It has definitely assigned me a user, so why the fuck is it complaining? Goddamn piece of shit. Anyway, I mean, still even here, you can see the context providers that are wrapped up. Where is that redirecting? Oh, user session not found. Nope, there is definitely my user session. Who knows? It could be the wrong backend. Who knows? There's fucking too many of them. Oh, actually, hang on. That's all. What are errors there? Let's run them both on the dev just in case something hasn't been built correctly. That looks fine. This is taking suspiciously long to build. Cannot read property of undefined schedule of weeks. Fair enough, I guess. That should still be fine. Yeah, nah. I have it linked through Nextdoor. So it probably won't log me in even though it's logged me in through everything correctly. Actually, you probably could view, yeah, so at this point, you can see the components still. So this is like each of the, like, more or less like HTML, you know, how you have like the like outer tags and then you go in with more definition. So like HTML div h1 key for paragraph, etc., etc. You can pretty much see and if I can catch it before it bloody errors out, let's try going some static page that doesn't require anything particular to catch it again. You see the like each of the components, and okay, they're all just errors, but the context providers and stuff like that allow you to pass information down a level without needing to actually pass it through each of the components, if that makes sense. Undefined can only proper undefined reading scheduler weeks. Scheduler weeks. Let me run and parent-child relationships pretty much, but hooks allow you to make a request pretty much at any level without needing to pass it down hierarchically, down from the parent to the child. Let me just take a look at these real quick.